We are on lesson 8. Our objective says I will be able to use unit analysis, and yours says and case and evidence. I'll be able to use unit analysis and case and evidence to convert measures. Unit analysis. So what is unit analysis? First off, here we go. We've got unit analysis is a process for converting measures into different units. A unit ratio or a conversion factor. These are conversion factors. Okay? Conversion factor is something like this. 12 inches is 1 foot. It's a way to convert from one measure to another. 12 inches and 1 foot are basically the same thing. It's just two different ways of writing a unit. 3 feet and 1 yard, two different ways of writing a unit. So, since the amounts used in a unit ratio are equal to each other, a unit ratio is always equal to 1. Since the product of 1 and a number is that number, a unit ratio multiplied by a measure will always name the same amount. So when you multiply something by a unit ratio, something like this, you're not changing the value at all, okay? So, if we're ever converting something, like we are here, how many centimeters are in 15 inches? Okay? What we can use, what I like to use, is something called a case and some evidence. Okay? You're trying to solve a case. Anytime you're trying to solve a case, just like on CSI or something like that, you need some evidence. So the case is always what is being converted. Okay? The case is what's being converted. So what we're converting is 15 inches. Oops, inches. Alright, this box basically works like a fraction. Okay? This is the numerator, this up here, this is the denominator. What's down here? So you can put 1. Remember, any whole number is over 1. So this box works like a fraction. So my case is whatever's being converted. Anytime I have a case, I always need some evidence. So I need some evidence linking me from inches to centimeters. So I need to know how many centimeters are in an inch. Well, I just so happen to know that 1 inch equals 2 54/100ths of a centimeter, okay? I've got a sheet with some conversion factors that I can give you. That one I just sort of knew off the top of my head. But, there we go. Now, anytime, I told you that this works sort of like a fraction. So anytime I have something over itself, I know that those two cancel out. So if I have something up here in the numerator, I need something in the denominator that it can cancel out with. So if inches is in the numerator, it can cancel out with these inches right here in the denominator. This case and evidence box is basically just a way of keeping track of all of this. Okay? My case is always what's being converted, and then my evidence is my unit ratio, or my conversion factors. Okay? So I call unit ratio case and evidence just because it's an easy way to sort of remember it, but it's the same thing as this unit ratio or conversion factors. So those inches have canceled out. Now all I have to do is multiply straight across. This is basically just like multiplying two fractions. 15 times 2 54/100ths should give me 38 1/10. Okay? 38 1/10. What unit? Well, it asks us about centimeters. The only thing that's left after these inches have canceled are centimeters. So it's 38 1/10 centimeter. Alright? This part, I don't think we actually put an X through this part. So I'm thinking the problem, this will be tomorrow. We will look at this tomorrow, but you can skip over that for now. Now, again, I'm converting something from miles to yards. Anytime I'm converting, what I like to use is this case and evidence. I always need a case. I always need some evidence. My case is always what's being converted. Remember, this works basically like a fraction. It's basically just a fraction box right here. Okay, my case is what's being converted. So my case is miles. 25 miles. I need a unit ratio, or I need some evidence. I need some evidence linking me from miles to yards. So I need a unit ratio. Well, I know that 1 mile is equal to 1,760 yards. Alright? Now, the reason that I knew to put miles in the denominator, or miles in the bottom, and yards in the denominator, is because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get these two to cancel. Okay? So I need a way for these two to cancel. The way that they cancel is by having 1 in the numerator and 1 in the denominator. So in order to get these to cancel, I need 1 in the numerator and 1 in the denominator. So that's how I knew to put the mile in the denominator and the yards in the numerator. So those cancel. Now I just multiply. I've got 1,760, not and, 1,760 times 25. That gives me 40. Excuse me. No, I was right the first time. 44,000, and the only unit that is left is yards, because my miles have canceled. All that's left is yards. Alright, next thing I've got convert. 3,005, that's the wrong decimal. That should be right there. Put a mark to that. That should be this. That comma, not decimal, that comma was in the wrong place because we had 3 zeros right here. So convert 350,000 milliliters to liters. So again, I need I need a case. I need some evidence. Okay, my case is always what's being converted. All right, so again, my case is 350,000 milliliters. My evidence is something that links me from milliliters to liters. So I know that if I've got milliliters up here in the numerator of the case, what I need down here in the denominator of my evidence is milliliters. Thank you. I went too fast. 350,000. Alright, what I need in the denominator is milliliters. Now I need something that links it. Well, there's 1,000 milliliters in every 1 liter. Okay? These are conversion factors, which again, I'll give you a sheet that has some of these. But I've got milliliters in the numerator, milliliters in the denominator, so I know that those are going to cancel, because it's just like having anything over itself. Anything over itself is 1. 1 has no value, so that's just like those cancel. So, what I've got 350,000 times 1, that's just 350,000. Over 1,000. Now I just need to simplify that. An easy way to simplify that is if you've got these 3 zeros in the denominator, these 3 zeros in the numerator, those cancel, or you could just divide that out. Either way, that's the simpler way to do it. Just cancel out your zeros. Then I've got 350 over 1, which is just 350. I need a unit. The only thing that's left after those milliliters have canceled out is liters. So I'm converting using a unit ratio. The unit ratio right here is 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. Again, I need these to cancel. So in order for them to cancel, I need 1 to be in the numerator, or I need the same unit in the numerator and in the denominator. One last one. How many inches are in 3 miles? We're going to need several things here. So I know I'm converting 3 miles. I'm converting 3 miles, so that's going to have to be my case. So my case is 3 miles. Remember, whatever's being converted is your case. Now, I'm going to need some evidence. I need some evidence that takes me from miles to inches. Well, I don't know how many inches are in a mile, but I do know how many yards are in a mile. I do know how many feet are in a mile. So, I put evidences, that should say evidence. I know that there are, in 1 mile, remember, miles is in the numerator, so I know I need miles in the denominator here. This does not work if you cannot cancel these out. So if you've got miles in the numerator, you've got to have it in the denominator down here. I know that 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. That gets me closer. Okay? But am I done? No, I'm not. I've just gone from miles to feet. I don't want to go from miles to feet. I want to go from miles to inches. So now I need to say, well, do I know anything that connects feet to inches? Yeah, I know that there's 12 inches in every 1 foot. So again, if I want those feet to cancel, I've got feet in the numerator, so I've got to have feet in the denominator down here. So I put 1 foot for every 12 inches. Now watch what happens. If you've got miles up here in the numerator, miles in the denominator, those cancel, I got feet in the numerator, feet in the denominator. Those cancel, I just multiply straight across. 3 times 5,280 times 12. You can multiply that out on your paper. I'll go ahead and tell you it's 190,080. Okay, so I'm just multiplying straight across. I got 190,080. Alright, and then here in the denominator, I've just got 1 times 1. That's just 1. Everything has canceled except for inches. So this is 190,080 inches. So, we use case and evidence when we are converting measures. We remember that this evidence, all that evidence is it's a unit ratio. It's a unit multiplier. It's just like multiplying by 1. But I need some sort of evidence that links me from my case, whatever I started with, all the way over to the evidence. So I multiply by two different, this time I had to do two different unit ratios because I didn't know something that took me straight from miles to inches. So we start with our case, we find evidence that links it. It's just like a fraction. Okay? That should be all for lesson 8.